Hey guys, Dorcas here with DolphinDC Creations again. We are still working. This is part 2 of the collaboration with MelodyMade.com, and her YouTube channel is Making Memories with Melody. And this is the cover that I made last week. So I've already showed you all the textiles that I plan on using in the book. So I'm just going to set this aside and we're going to work with paper today. Don't forget to head over to Melody's channel, Making Memories with Melody, and like and subscribe to her video and to her channel, as well as don't forget to hit the like and subscribe to my channel, please. We are going to go ahead, and I have printed all the pages for the kit, including the ephemera pages and a couple of other images, and I'm going to be working with a book and book pages, some pages that are tea dyed and coffee dyed and stained and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to show you all of the papers that I've chosen. I'm going to start folding and cutting them down. Alright, so if you want to see how a journal is made from scratch, this is the spot to chill out at with me and with Melody while you see we both have different approaches and are probably going to get very different results, but it is still going to be a beautiful journal, and mine is for my daughter. I'm not sure what Melody's making hers for a friend or for what. But it's just a beautiful kit. The images are amazing, and it's just like perfect for this slide into fall. All right, guys. So this page right here, I printed on vellum, and this isn't necessarily going to go into my book, but this image is a free printable that I got from the Patreon account that I have at MelodyMade.com. So I have a Patreon for Melody Made, and this was a free image that she gave us this month. And I know that it wasn't in the kit, but it is so gorgeous, and I want to put it in my daughter's book. It is just absolutely beautiful. This is actually the right side of that printing. You can see the colors are just a little more vibrant. I'm going to cut this fairy out, and I'm actually going to add her to the front of the journal because I think it needs her there next to the swing. And so I printed her in a smaller version so I could do that. And I'm going to find a spot for her because this is a gorgeous, gorgeous print. And I think I printed like 3 or 4 more of these because I love them. And then these are the ephemera pages from the kit. So I'm going to start showing you these, and then I will move on to the actual book pages. Some washi stuff here, or trim. Beautiful, nice, large tags. A seed packet envelope. A lot of pretty tabs. I'm really excited about this. I don't really have like a tab maker, so I don't ever really make tags like this unless I use fabric and that kind of thing. So I'm excited to use these. I think I'm going to probably emboss them with iridescent embossing powder that I have. Make them sparkly. Some book cards, tags, 2 note cards, another beautiful envelope, and some tags, and then another envelope with tags. So this is my ephemera pack. I don't know how much ephemera I'm going to actually put in this book because, like I said, I want it to be her journal for her senior year of high school. And so I'm not sure how much stuff she's going to need opposed to space to write her thoughts and put some pictures and keep some memories. This is a little scrap left from when we made the inside of the book cover. So that piece of cardstock. The rest of the papers for the kit are right here. And I'm hiding the stuff I have under here because I have some really cool stuff. So this is the rest of the kit. I print my kits usually double-sided. The reason for that is it's less work for me, and Melody is very generous with the backgrounds that she provides. So there are enough backgrounds in this kit that you shouldn't have to, do too much of other stuff to the back of your pages. So I printed some pages in vellum, like this one. This one is also printed in vellum with a little fairy. And she looks so pretty. So this is printed two-sided. Some eco-dyed prints. Oh, this one's one-sided. This one and this one are actually a pocket. That's why they're both one-sided. I'm going to sew them up here and down here and create a pocket. So then here's some more eco-dyed paper on the back. And on the front, it's got that lovely fairy in the sepia color. On solid paper. Beautiful eco-dyed prints. They are gorgeous, Melodi. There we go. Beautiful pages, guys. This one, I think, has to be at the center of a signature because, I mean, she's right in the middle. You don't want to cover her up. So she'll probably end up being the center of a signature. Another one. All right, guys. And I think these are the last few. Also, this is that tracing paper that I've been using. It's a high quality tracing paper. And it makes really nice pages. It makes them look like vellum. And I am absolutely enthralled by it. Here's another one. And these are just double-sided images as well. Here we go. So these, turns out I printed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 with my pocket page, 16, 17, 18. 18 pages. 18 pages, including the vellum or the tracing paper pages. I would like 40 pages. So that I have 4 signatures of 10 each. So 18, 19. This is tracing paper that I coffee dyed. So that's 19. This is tissue paper that I coffee dyed. So just, I like the different textures. So 20. I have some ledger paper that is onion dyed. So that's 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28, 29, 30. This is some of the my practice pages from the jelly printing. So there's one. Here's another. This one is just the bronze on the sprayer, rolling it off. This one has some really nice effects. There we go. This was from an inspirational book that we had bought my daughter years ago, and she used some pages, but most of it was not used. This back part of it doesn't really match the colors. I mean, it does have a little bit of the purple. I guess I could add some gold to it, but we'll see when we get to it. But the front looks so yummy. Like, it needs to be in her book, so it's going in. Then I have this one. There we go. This is beautiful. So we're going to put all of those in the book, and then I have some pages from the Complete Book of Flower Fairies by, I'm going to say this wrong, Cicely Mary Baker? Cicely? I guess, Cicely. Maybe Cecily? I don't know. And this was something I bought from Half Price Books. I have 2 of them, so I have gone ahead and I'm going to gut this one and use it on all kinds of wonderful projects. So I'm going to set that one aside. And then I have a couple of other pages that are probably going to be made into ephemera or things like that. This is from where I cleaned off my brayer. It's actually got some bumblebees on it. I used a stamp. These are all where I cleaned off my brayer. And these might be for collages and different things. All of this. There we go. And then I am definitely going to add these 4 envelopes. And then I have this piece of vellum. It is beautiful, but it's a little damaged and I don't dare do anything else with it. And I think I might decorate these areas here because it's just beautiful, yummy paper and I don't want it to go to waste. All right, so let's start folding stuff up. Let's start with these guys.
All right, guys, I am so sorry my voice is so bad. I've got a terrible, terrible cold my darling son brought home. But I'm just going to be folding the papers in this section. This part of the process literally took an hour and a half between cutting down the pieces of paper and making sure they were all correct, folding them, and all of this part took about an hour and a half. So I went ahead and I cut it, fast forwarded it, and tried to make the most out of it so that it, so it wouldn't take too long. So what I'm doing here, guys, is trimming that paper to size, but because it's got that gel print on it, I'm trimming a little bit on each side to make sure that I keep as much of the gel print intact as possible. So it takes a little bit longer to trim because I'm doing that, but that's the purpose of it.
forward through this because really there's no sense to watching me cut paper. Alright, so I went ahead and I cut down all of the pages. These are some of the pages from the fairy book. I'm going to probably sew these with some sari silk on the spines. But, I mean, they are so pretty. I'm going to add these guys to the signatures. And here is all the paper. Cut and not cut. Alright, we've got some paper to still cut. Let's cut this one down. That needs to be cut down. And these guys need to be cut down a little more. Okay, let's do that.
So what's going on here, guys, is I am sorting out the papers that I've already cut into the signatures. So this should be a rather easy process, but on the other hand, because you are trying to make sure that you get a good harmonious color balance and also the balance of what you're putting into the signatures, I sort them out. I do 4 piles, and then I take my papers and I sort them between those 4 piles, trying to keep the colors as nice and even between the signatures as possible. So this does take a little bit of time, and not just time afterwards. It does take more repositioning, because when you are setting up the signature and you're putting the papers in order, you make sure that you have a good balance of the pretty pages with the plain pages. So what I do is I start with the in this case, I start with the fairy book. Then I do distribute out the gel print to make sure that they're evenly distributed. Then I go through and I distribute my faux vellum papers to make sure that everybody gets 1 or 2. Then after that, I'll go through and I'll distribute my specialty papers that I've dyed, like the ledger paper, the grid paper. And then I will distribute the plain paper, just the tea dyed plain paper. Some of it is the crinkly tissue paper that I have dyed. Some of it is some tracing paper that I had also tea dyed or coffee dyed. And so I'll distribute all of those, make sure they look nice. I have a few pages also that are I spritz them with alcohol sprays and they have glimmer mist on them kind of situation. And so I'll distribute those out as well. And then I will take my pages from the kit and divide them amongst my 4 signatures. So it's a simple process, but it does take a little bit of time because, you want it to look as nice as possible. So that's just what's going on here. And again, guys, I apologize. My voice is so bad right now. We did get COVID tested again because we love being COVID tested in this house. And it turns out it's just a cold. But we needed to make sure that my son was cleared so that he could go to school because he missed the second day of school on. So This is almost done with the sorting of the paper, and then we will go and dive into the next step. All right, guys. So, I've already gone ahead and you watched me fold the paper and cut it down and all that fun stuff. The next thing that I'm going to do before I can sew the signatures in, so I have my signatures all ready. I've got the papers in the order that I want them. I've cut everything down, you know, like some of the fairy pages were a little large, so I cut them down. So I've got all of that ready to go. I had this very beautiful sari fabric that I want to use in this book. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some fabric flips. So maybe some places where she is going to be able to write down her thoughts or things like that that she might want to, you know, like veil or cover it a little. So I'm going to sew the fabric flips up here. I'm also going to sew a couple of pockets. I don't really think I need too many pockets because I want this to be a place for her to write her thoughts. So not as many pockets. It is a actual journal for her to journal about her year and that kind of thing. So it turns out we'll have 140 pages. I don't know if that's enough. I want it to be enough. So I am going to go ahead and I am going to take my signatures as they are, and I'm going to take them over to the sewing machine and do some sewing on them to make sure that I do the pockets and the little fabric flips that I want to do. Like, look at that. Isn't that going to be cute? And it's like covering your writing. Oh, so fancy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I will be back. So I'm just going to pause it here. I don't have a good setup over by my sewing machine, which is why I won't show you how I do that. Alright guys, so I did go to my sewing machine. I got the needle that broke fixed, and this is where we're at with the pages. These pages are now ready to be sewn in to the book. So that's what we're going to do next. I'm going to go ahead and bind these up with some binder clips, and we're going to sew them into the book. And then it looks like I did a ton of decorating, but mostly this is all just on the sewing machine, all these laces and trims that I've had, because this is a writing journal for her to journal about her senior year of high school, or her last year, you know, of childhood. I went ahead and I left a lot of writing spaces, so it's not uber decorated. Everything that's in it is things that are sort of kind of inconspicuous and can stay out of the way, so she has space to write. So you could lift this and write under it. I did put a few pockets, but very few. Each signature has maybe 1 or 2 pockets, no more. And then I put an envelope in each of them, whether it's a large envelope folded in half or a small envelope with a index card attached to the other side. So this is first signature. I added trim at the bottom, and I added a ton of trim on the sides. And the reason I could add this much trim was because my cover is larger, so I have a lot of space on the edge where this trim won't really stick out too far from the book.
So there's signature one. This one I've already got clipped up so that I can bind it. And as you can see, I added some of the sari trim in here. I wish I had more of this. I would have put more in the book. This is the only piece I had of that. So lots of lace, lots of pretties. This is the mesh pocket with the pages from the fairy book. I think this little rose fairy is the sweetest. Makes me think of my granddaughter. This one has a little envelope in half. This is only tacked at the top, so you could write under it. But I have a few pieces of this, and I absolutely love it. And then we've got some little tassels here, because I thought those were cute. This piece was rather long, and so I just folded it in half. And that way there's something on the front and the back, and you can lift this and write under it too. This piece of lace I have been holding on to forever. I bought it almost a year or two ago. And I mean, I know it's a little psychedelic. It might not go too much, but I wanted to give her a piece of it because I think she'll love it. And I think it's a nice prelude to this little fairy over here, because she's all bluish. And so this is the fourth signature. And right here, little fairy underneath the veil. Fairy behind the veil, which is perfect. Little boy fairy reminds me of my grandson. Looks mischievous, like he's been doing badness. Some trim that I've been holding on to for a while as well. We have another piece of the sari silk here. And I left this like that so that it sticks out a little. Here's some more. I know this is going to go somewhere in the book. I don't know where yet, but I know that it belongs to that signature. Alright, guys. These are my pages. Cut down to size. With trim all over them. I will admit this is the first time that I put this much lace on a journal. I know how a lot of people love their journals to be very drippy, and I love drippy journals. I think they're beautiful, but I just had never made one before. I didn't have a lot of lace before, and I mean, this is a special journal. It is for her to document her last year of school, and it's something that she will keep forever, I hope. Become an heirloom piece for her in her life. So here is the cover. I embossed the fairy. So I embossed her with gold. She had like a little earring there, and her crown, and a orb. So I went ahead and embossed those. And then her wings I embossed with transparent embossing powder and glitter so that her wings sparkle. And then I left the rest of her matte. She looks very faint against that background because I did print her on the vellum, but I didn't want regular paper. I wanted just to stay very ethereal. And I think this achieves that ethereal look to it. So I am going to stop here for this part of the collab. Next time we're going to come through and I'm actually going to sew the signatures in. I am going to have all my ephemera cut out, and then the next 2 weeks we will do one with the signatures being sewn in, and I'll show you my weirdo binding method where it's like a faux spine, so you will only have two threads showing through here and showing here. So my binding will only show in these two places, and everywhere else it'll be hidden on the inside, and you won't be seeing it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. You have a wonderful day. And I'll see you next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, DolphinDC Creations, as well as to melodymade.com. And her YouTube channel is Making Memories with Melody. So have a great day. Bye.